Hey everyone, Marcin here, and today I'm going to be talking about why I never shut up about Dave Mustaine. So for those of you who don't know, I am a huge Megadeth fan, and I've been a longtime fan of Dave Mustaine for a very long time as well. I'm not really going to go too into what I like about Megadeth with this. I'm just going to be talking about more so why I look up to Dave Mustaine. So even if you're not really into Megadeth or metal music, I think this would still be something that's interesting to listen to, because I personally think that Dave Mustaine is someone that's very inspiring. So to start this off, I'll bring up a band that most of you probably know. So most of you probably know who Metallica is. Well, interestingly enough, Dave Mustaine has a part with Metallica, with their history. He was actually in the band. Dave Mustaine went for tryouts. He was just warming up, and they liked his playing so much that they let him in just from his warm-up. But unfortunately, he had a drinking problem. Now, the whole band did drink, but from the stories and from how it's told is that Dave Mustaine got very violent, and ultimately, Metallica kicked him out. Now, how they kicked him out is where it gets a little hairy, because Dave Mustaine was upset that he didn't get a second chance. They just gave him a bus ticket and said, "You're out." And the thing is that Dave's playing, because Dave was the guitar player in Metallica, his playing not only influenced the band, but was actually used in their material. You can even look up Metallica's first two albums right now, and you'll see Dave Mustaine in the credits. And this is where, to me, Dave Mustaine is just very inspiring. And this is where the people that I end up looking up to usually tend to be people that have this attitude, where Dave Mustaine could have definitely just given up. He could have given up. He had his ticket to success, and he lost it. But instead of giving up, on the bus ride home, he was already planning out his own band. And I'm not going to get into the whole history. I know a lot about Dave Mustaine's history, but I don't want to get into all of it. But the main point being that he could have given up. And throughout his whole career, he had to deal with being compared with Metallica, who are more successful than him in terms of revenue, and just even being known in general. More people know who Metallica is over Megadeth. And despite all of that, he's never quit. He's someone that follows his own path. He has a vision for something and he goes for it, and he just does it. And that's where, yeah, Megadeth isn't as successful as Metallica, but Megadeth is by far my favorite band. So it's weird to think that if all of that didn't happen, I just wouldn't have my favorite band. It would just be another band altogether. And for how much Megadeth means to me, it's just so crazy to think about. If he had given up, that whole part of my life just wouldn't be there. And something else about him too is that when he was forming Megadeth, they had a hard time finding a vocalist, and he ended up just doing the vocals himself. Now, for some people, they don't like his vocals, but I really enjoy them. It's some of my favorite vocals, period. I just really like the way that he sings. Now, I'm not going to go out and say that he's the best singer, because from a technical standpoint, that's just not true. But from what I enjoy to hear, he's one of my favorites. So I'll probably do videos on Megadeth in general, but I just want to do this video because I just wanted to talk about why he's someone that I bring up a lot. He's someone that I bring up when I talk about the channel. He's someone that I bring up just in general, because he's someone that just genuinely did not give up. He just didn't give up. He had a vision, and he just follows his own path. And he did a lot for the metal scene. And it's funny because throughout this whole conversation, I didn't even talk about the fact that he's really good with guitar. I mean, I guess I kind of touched on that for the fact that he got into Metallica by just warming up, but not only just guitar, but he's just so good at writing music in general. You know, in my opinion, but when it comes to guitar playing, most people will say that his guitar playing was nuts. Not that he's not still really good with it now, but those old albums were very influential to a good amount of musicians. And some of the snippets that we've heard for the upcoming album, yeah, he's still crazy at guitar. And I've actually met Dave Mustaine twice. But I think I'll save that for another video. If you're interested in that story, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. But other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.